So Via Hustle is an acronym, actually.
Mm.
So it's visionary illustrative art. You visualize what you want, illustrate is the act of doing, and the art is what you manifest from your hustle. So I came up with that brand in 2014. I was working in the back room of Target, you know what I mean?
Helping
just
everybody with
just
little
helping
games,
helping people stuff,
DVD.
helping people out, and I'm like, you know what? It's hard to find like clothes down there in Charleston because everyone goes to the same stores.
Hmm.
It's small, you know. After a while, I was like, I want to wear some different stuff. I'm tired of wearing everything. As soon as I buy something, I see 5 other people with it. I'm just like, it's not exclusive at all.
Hmm.
So I was like, let me make something that's me, Let me make a creative brand for myself to where I could express my artwork on clothes, express my type of style that I like.
Watch me now. Say, I am the greatest. Look at us, mama, we made it. I'm going in like I'm bathing. Yeah, they had a buzz, but we shaved it. They got me feeling like some gauges, cause I'm in the air with it, baby. Had to get away from being basic and work hard on a regular basis. I'ma let them talk till it's my time, and I ain't gon' say shit. Give them bars like cages, and they still got a few more cases. You can unplug from the matrix and open your mind a little and see that it's fucking funny like a condom riddle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. This is Talking Riches. I'm here today with the great Justin Moultrie, the visionary from Charleston, South Carolina.
Thank you.
Visual artist, fashion designer second, like he said. So appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming to the show, man.
No, man, I appreciate you for having me on your show, honestly.
Thank you, man. So on the show, we like to talk about the foundation. Where you from, who raised you is very important too as well, to who you are today. So let's start with your foundation of family.
So my mom, my dad, my sister, I grew up with them in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I'm born and bred. And honestly, they pushed me to like the arts and everything because they saw the potential as a kid. It was like, he's drawing a lot of cartoons and stuff like that. Like, go ahead and keep doing that stuff. So my mom definitely put me in programs like in school to kind of help my art career, and seeing the hustle in my dad kind of showed me that I can make it in different ways, and my sister too.
So, as a kid, right, we used to like draw the Goku and all the SpongeBob
Exactly.
stuff. So what was your go-to drawing as a kid?
As a kid, especially like in middle school, I was drawing people's names. I was drawing portraits of them, Bugs Bunny, SpongeBob. But back then everything was blinged out, so they had like the earrings and they had like the gold teeth and everything like that. So, yeah.
Okay. So with that, man, you being in a household with your family, there's certain ways people was raised, as in the rules and a lot of regulations and like special standards that people do live by. So with you and your mom or your dad, who instilled the most wisdom inside you growing up as a kid?
It's hard to say. It's hard to pick one, honestly. I think both of them instilled different things within me to kind of propel me as a man who I am now. My mom gave me the strictness to kind of have like routines and stuff like that to make sure the house was in order. My dad had me outside doing like lawn work and helping him out with his hustle and work and stuff like that. So I got the best of both worlds, honestly. The hustle is what they really instilled in me. Just keep going and do what you have to, because my mom was taking care of me and my sister, and my dad was taking care of a lot. So, we just had to get it.
Just had to get it.
We just had to get it. We just had to hustle, honestly.
And watching them, in their hustle, right? You see that. You was like, my mom, my dad's working hard. What those traits that you use today? What's one of those traits like of the hustle that you actually use today? From salesman to going up to people, introducing yourselves. Charleston, we're pretty hospitality. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So what is that concept that you use for your style and work?
Doing a lot of side jobs with my dad, which he used to cut down trees and do like lawn work. So I would see him go to people's houses and kind of have a good rapport and customer service and getting work and just walking around, and people would love him. He'd be like, hey, have some lunch and stuff like that. I see your son here. And just growing up, I just want to have that same hospitality towards people, towards clients, to excel my artwork through the world and kind of show people.
And with you being a visual artist, right? What was that first day that you realized that you want to be a visual artist and fashion designer as a kid, or who's that person that motivated you to actually become that person?
I didn't really have too many like role models with like the art growing up. I just saw cartoons, and that's the thing that really stuck to me. Cartoons, and then getting a little bit older, hip hop was like a big thing for me. So listening to a lot of hip hop, like T.I., Young Jeezy, Lil Wayne, and just trying to put myself within the artwork, because like I said, my first love is cartoons. And I'm sorry. Can we do that one again?
Yeah, we can.
I got tied up.
You're fine. So you said the cartoons, right?
Yeah.
Was kind of your first love, then became the music. Because, you know, back in that time period, we had MySpace, where you can
Right.
take those digital designs, like the SpongeBob with the bandana on, with
Exactly.
Lil Wayne, show me my opponent, you know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
With that concept, we growing up in that era together, what was the first design for yourself too as well?
The first design is hard, honestly. I used to look at the VCR covers and draw like those pictures. When pausing the TV was a thing, I would pause the TV and like draw scenes of like Family Guy or like Rugrats and stuff like that. But anything that I was interested in, I wanted to draw it because I thought it was cool. And people who saw that and related to it, I'm like, oh, this is cool. So now we could talk about Rocket Power together, Now we could talk about T.I. together or something, because now they relate to it and they see a little bit of me in my stuff. But I think the Boondocks was the first like cartoon that really spoke to me, because now I see black people. Now they kind of have like that anime type of style, but not like that. Then it has the hip hop elements to it as well. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what I'm trying to achieve. So maybe that might be my role model, like Aaron Magruder, I believe that's his name, who made Boondocks.
Okay, then I just found out recently that the voices was played by Regina King.
Exactly.
I did not know that.
Riley and Huey.
Riley and Huey. All right, so since you figure out what you want to be, right, and now your journey starts. Say you're in middle school, high school, and you're thinking about it. You got people around you talking about, I want to be a doctor, lawyer, I want to do this big careers, but in your mind, you want to be a digital artist and fashion designer. Did you feel like more motivated to go, or did you feel more discouraged before you got started?
I think letting people know that I wanted to be an artist, like that was plan A. Like, I'm gonna do art. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do art. I tried to go the school route. I didn't get to art school per se, but I tried college a little bit. It wasn't for me, but I was like, I could be out in the streets, I could freelance, I could get my art out there some other type of way. It was up and down, because it was discouraged at first, because saying that you want to be an artist, they're like, oh, okay, you're going to be a starving artist. You're not going to make no money. I'm like, no, there's money out here somewhere. I'm going to find a way, things are evolving. And after a while, I'm like, I'm just going to take the hard way. Like, I'm just going to have to do what I love, because I don't want to just do a 9-to-5 or do something else where I feel like that is like a dead-end job. Like, I don't want to feel like I have an inspiration. And it's like, oh, I never got to do the thing that I wanted to do. And it's like, no, I'm young. Let me do it now. I see other artists out there doing what they do as I get older and start to venture out. But honestly, it's like, especially being in Charleston, the type of art that I was doing that was more geared to cartoons and hip hop, it wasn't really a space for that. A lot of the art down there was toward like the landscape.
Correct.
The palmetto trees, the water, the just landscape, the sweetgrass baskets and everything like that, which is nice. I want to incorporate more of that in my artwork, to kind of show more of me. But my stuff was hip hop, I wanted to show like baggy clothes, gold teeth. As you can see, I got gold teeth in the Rolling Stones. I want to show like black kids playing basketball, just doing stuff that kids like to do, playing video games, playing card games, any of that.
Okay. And so you traveled from Charleston to Brooklyn.
Yes.
What was that final decision making moment for you? And was it like a group decision with you and your family, or was it like, hey, I want to do this, and this is how I should pursue it, and was it supported that way? How did that conversation go first?
So it's an interesting story how I got to New York. So I, me and my wife knew each other in high school in Charleston. And then, we were just friends. I was a little too young for her at the time. But after a while, we stayed in contact, and she ended up moving to New York. I was still in Charleston. She came back because her family lived in Charleston as well. And one of those times, I'm like, hey, let's hang out. Actually hung out. I got older. I got a beard. I got a car. So she's like, all right, we could go out, do something. And something sparked, and, we were long distance for a year. Then after a while, it's like, yeah, I'm not moving back to Charleston. So I'm like, New York is a different beast. But after visiting, it's like, there's so much art, there's so much inspiration, it's just a whole different way of living. The culture's different. After moving here,
definitely.
it's just night and day. So after a while, let my family know. They didn't know I was serious at first. I was like, no, I'm going to move in with my now wife. I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna move up there. I'm gonna do my art thing. I was just like, okay. Time got closer. I was like, yeah, my bags are packed. I'm out of here. I moved up here. I took the leap of faith. Now we're married, 2 years together, like 8 years, and we're out here hustling. Shout out to you, babe.
Yeah. So, speaking of faith, explain faith in your own personal way, what that means to you.
Faith is just kind of just taking your hands off the wheel and just believing that whatever you believe is going to happen. Just kind of having faith in the process, faith that things are going to work out, and faith in yourself that you can actually do what you say you're actually going to do.
Okay, so Via Hustle. Am I saying it right?
Via Hustle.
Via
yes.
Hustle. How did that brand get started? What was the idea behind the brand of Via Hustle?
So Via Hustle is an acronym, actually. So it's visionary, illustrative art. You visualize what you want, illustrate is the act of doing, and the art is what you manifest from your hustle. So I came up with that brand in 2014. I was working in the back room of Target, you know what I mean?
Helping
Just-
everybody with a little,
just
little
helping-
games,
helping people
DVD.
helping people out, and I'm like, you know what? It's hard to find like clothes down there in Charleston because everyone goes to the same stores. It's small, After a while, I was like, I want to wear some different stuff. I'm tired of wearing everything. As soon as I buy something, I see 5 other people with it. I'm just like, it's not exclusive at all. So I was like, let me make something that's me, Let me make a creative brand for myself to where I could express my artwork on clothes, express my type of style that I like, So I built the brand in 2014, and now we're here, honestly. So, yeah, it just came from not really finding the styles that you like, and it's like, well, if I'm seeing something that's missing, let me be the missing puzzle piece,
Right. And when he's coming up with your style, what was one of the ways that you wanted to differentiate yourselves from the people in Charleston already? Because you had a LaFerris's at the time period. You had like Charleston with the feathers. Charles.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Chucktown, I think.
We got Charlie Yo. We got the Good Brand. We
Correct.
got Sweetgrass, LaFresse, like how you said. Some of those people I actually worked with and did like designs and stuff for. But honestly, it's just my artwork already is just like cartoony, and it has like some nostalgia in it as well. So I'm like, I personally just have my own vision, So I just want people to see my vision and wear it as well. And now, after doing it for so long, I'm like, let me mix my art with my clothes. So let me actually start painting on clothes. So I started painting on jackets, on hats, and wanted to make sure that quality was still there, because I don't want you to get the T-shirt and it feels like a cheap T-shirt and everything like that. I want you to keep it,
Right.
you know?
Not wash it one time, you fade,
Exactly. No, I want you to have 10 years, 20 years,
Right.
you know?
So with that, you made a special appearance. Your artwork did on the 85 South show.
Yes.
Ask people how did you were able to make that move happen? Explain that.
So, with me enjoying hip hop so much, I draw a lot of hip hop artists, and then after a while, podcasts became a big thing. So I started listening to a lot of podcasts, and if I treat the same respect to the artists, they're artists too in a different respect. You know what I mean? So I wanted to show my appreciation for podcasts as well. So I started drawing illustrations of like them in different moments like that. So after a while, they saw my picture and they were like, this is dope. Fire emoji. Carlos Miller saw it. Chico, DC, they saw it. I'm like, yeah, cool. At that time, we relocated to North Carolina, thinking it was going to be a little bit better than South Carolina.
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yep.
Yeah, it's up and coming. It's been up and coming for a long time. And there's no water over there. I was like, I don't know if I like this too much. But I saw 85 South was coming to Greenville, South Carolina, which is pretty close, like 40-minute drive, which is nothing. So I was like, I'm going to get this in front of them. I'm going to find a way to talk to Carlos and just bring my stuff. I don't know how. I'm going to travel over there. I had a big picture just like these. So I'm going to get it to him. My wife is like, you sure? I was like, yeah. Like, I'm going to do it. He's like, so you going to sit while we look at the show with this? Yeah. Like, everything's going to work out fine. I hit Carlos up. I was like, yo, I'm coming through. He said, all right. I was like, is there a way you can help me to get back there? He didn't really respond like that. So I was like, well, he know I'm going to be there. I'm going to find a way. Came inside there, talked to some people. They were like, oh, you got some artwork for them? Yeah, you could go ahead and meet them after the show. I'm like, bet. So after the show, me and wifey are just kind of waiting around, feeling kind of awkward. People are leaving.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, I saw Chad, and he was like, yo, you got the...
Shout out to Chad. Chad Barber used to come in here in Atlanta, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Chad is the showrunner of 85 South.
Yeah.
So he saw me. He was like, hey, you the one who got like the artwork and stuff. I said, yeah. Let me, I just want to give it to him and stuff like that. And then, so he brought me in the back where it's like, basically like the meet and greet after the show. So it was a lot of people there. And they were handing around mics. It was like, yeah, if you want to ask some questions. They were up there, and I was like, yeah, my name is Justin. I'm the one, I drew the picture and stuff. And DC was like, oh, hey, I saw that. That shit hard as hell. Yeah. So I got to, like, actually meet them, take some pictures, give them the actual picture. The next thing you know, like a couple of weeks later, I see my artwork in the background at 85 South. And I'm like, oh, snap. You got mad people coming. Rick Ross, you got Rick Ross, you got Meek Mill, you got T.I., you got 2 Chainz, you got everyone coming. So I'm like, this is dope. So now my artwork is a piece of culture, a piece of history. And I got to meet some dope comedians because I love comedy as well. My mom always used to look at comedy, stand-up comedy. So
nice, hell yeah. So that's a dope ass experience, dog. Hopefully I meet them in person. They hit me up in the DMs, but I haven't met them in person yet. So hopefully we'll make that connection one day. So your journey here in Brooklyn, there's one special person that everyone wants to meet too as well, especially myself, Spike Lee. But you got the opportunity to actually meet with him too as well.
Yeah.
So actually I have Spike Lee as one of my logos on my Instagram, the little cartoons version.
Yeah.
But what was that experience like with Spike Lee, and what's some games or gems that he dropped to you?
So what I could say is, whatever you think you could do, just do it. Doesn't matter how crazy it sounds, because I saw that Spike Lee was having a block party for Do the Right Thing. And where we were living at in Bed-Stuy, it was like right around the corner. Like we could walk there, it's right there. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw a picture and I'm gonna get this to him. My wife is like, yeah, okay. Like, do you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it. So the block party happens. It is a sea of people. I never seen this much people on the street before. And I got this big piece, and I got like a tiny piece for him as well, and something for me to autograph. So I just had to walk around like this just the whole time because there's so much people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to drop it or mess it up or anything. He's on stage. He's, drinking nutcrackers. He's running back and forth, going crazy. Everyone's going wild. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get over there. I'm just inching up, getting closer and closer to the stage. One of them saw it. He was like, oh, that's fire. Go ahead and get that. They took it. I was like, yeah. He's up there taking pictures and stuff. I was like, yeah. I'm down in the crowd. I'm like, nah, hold up. I need to get up there, get my picture and everything too, you know? So I'm like, yo, let me get up there and stuff. And he was like, no. I'm like, yeah, he got the picture. I do the picture. I have more pictures, you know? So Spike ended up coming back there. He ended up seeing me. It was a quick thing. He was like, keep doing what you're doing. I gave him the picture. I had another picture for myself. He autographed it so I could keep it. And the next day I saw my big picture that he was holding up, like on his Instagram the next day. It was in Revolt online and everything. So I was like, yet again, my artwork is finally hitting the culture. Like, as crazy as it sounds for me to do this stuff to kind of meet these people, I can meet these people now, you know?
Right.
I used to just be back in Charleston looking at this on YouTube and stuff. Now, since I'm here,
Making it happen.
I got to make it happen.
Nice.
Guerrilla style, you know?
Gorilla. So we're going to do final words of wisdom. And you can wrap it up also with telling people about your artwork, quick thing about your artwork.
Okay.
And your podcast, the Flick and Ash podcast.
Okay.
So let's start with your artwork first,
Okay.
then Flick and Ash podcast, then words of wisdom.
Got you. Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
You're good. Explain. Yep.
All right, so behind us, we have some of my artwork. Behind me, I have this artwork that I call Hood Love. All my artwork is done with pen and marker usually. I like to add different elements and make things pop out, whether it be glitter, mirror. I have some cloth back there to really make you see that it's a washcloth. So I like to show black love. I also like to show nostalgia. This is back in the day when me and my friends were kids in the backyard playing basketball. Even like with the Rolling Stones, I wanted to kind of make it me. I call it Trill Stone. You got the floral in the background to kind of give it that pretty trail type of feel. And you got the grill. And yeah. We have some clothes back here via Hustle. I painted this recently to kind of show that I'm from Charleston, came to Brooklyn. We got the Cooper River Bridge. We got the Brooklyn Bridge. We have my JJM art, which is me, my whole signature right there. And we have Via Hustle. And we have Lil Wayne that I have on my clothing line right now via Hustle. I'm just trying to get my artwork on my clothes so you guys can feel the quality. And also with releasing clothes with my artwork on it, you can also get artwork with it to frame up as well, you know? It's almost like it's like a bundle, you know?
Yeah, you get a bundle deal. 10 for 10.
10 for 10.
So your words of wisdom to the world, then your podcast.
Okay. My words of wisdom is to do you, don't stop, because you fail when you quit. So don't quit, keep going. It's going to be hard, but you just got to keep going. Because if you got a vision, you could definitely make it happen. We've seen plenty of other people make it happen and manifested those things, so you're no different. And then my podcast, shout out to my guy Sterling. He's like a brother from another mother. We started this podcast called Flickin' Ashes. You know, I enjoy cannabis, so we just, it's basically, you know, we're just talking, shooting the stuff. It's almost like barbershop talk. We're talking about social stuff that's happening in the culture. We're talking about the new songs and music that come out, and just straight commentary, just fun stuff.
Nice.
It's a great podcast.
Nice. And where can people reach you to be a big brother, a mentor in the fashion world, or for collaborations?
You can find me on Instagram at jjm.art93. You can also find me on my website, Via Art Hustle. That's VIAART hustle.com. And yeah, pretty much. JJM, just Google me, Justin Moultrie. You can find me. If you want to contact me, just hit me up.
Appreciate that. Yes, sir. Well, hey, that's a wrap. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
Yes, sir.
We gotta get that dap again.
Yeah, we
that was crazy.
I appreciate you, dog. Thank you.
All right, man.
All right. Let's go on that one, Javon.